Welcome to our group discussion for container security. Alexander, you've got something new to demo for us. Want to take it
Yes.
away?
Yeah, so I put the link to the project on staging. That is where you're going to be able to see and test out all the cool new features. I've turned the feature flag on for this project. I posted this last time because I had several MRs in review and was hoping to get them in time for the meeting, but as Sam pointed out last time, there was only a tab. This time we get the alerts showing, we have sorting capabilities, we have and the ability to change statuses on those alerts, which is all great.
Awesome. Yeah, great work on that. It's always awesome to see ongoing demos. So
yeah, check back at the link for more details later.
Do I need to be a member? Do I need some sort of permissions?
Yeah, probably.
Sign in.
Ah, yeah, I didn't sign in. Okay, forget about it.
It's out on schedule.
Can we remove that from the recording? It's a bit embarrassing.
No problem. So it looks like we're still not quite done. Zamir's still working on getting stuff through from Agent K, but all in, looks like we've had some great progress. I just realized as I was reviewing your demo, Alexander, have we accounted for adding the alerts in the policy editor? I'm wondering if somehow that fell through the cracks and got missed somewhere along the way.
Yes, that definitely did fall through the cracks. Oh, I do think there's a ticket for it though. I just didn't think, I don't know what I thought. Let me try to find that and I'll link it in.
Okay, yeah, I'm wondering if, I don't know if there are backend changes needed as part of that as well or not. I think it would all be front end, but I could be wrong. I think the way that Zamir decided to do it, it's just going to be an addition to the YAML configuration for the network policy. So I don't think you're going to need any backend changes for that.
Cool. I found what I think you're talking about. I think it's this one. Oh. Yeah, add alert to the policy UI.
Yep, that is exactly it.
Got it.
Now we've got a nice home for these alerts, but no way to configure alerts to be sent there. And this is how you would do that, is in the UI. You would click add alert, and then it should sync up with Zamir on exactly what it should add, but it adds something into the metadata there that designates it to generate an alert.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I'll totally work on that. Thank you. This is why we have demos. It's amazing.
Yep, no problem. Cool. And other than that, I just wanted to do a quick re-review of 13.8 since that's coming up next week. Make sure we're all on board there priority-wise. So for the back end, I would say top priority is to finish up the alert dashboard work, get that across the finish line. Then there are priority 2 would be a couple bugs that I've got identified there. And actually, looking at this one, I think this actually may be a front end bug. I thought it was back end, but I took a look and it's got a front end label on it. So that bug is in the policy area. So you might look at it at that same time that you're adding the alert to the policy UI. Might go hand in hand with that. So I guess we should actually move that out of here.
Got it.
Down to front end work.
It's in refinement, Alexander, and Zamir seems to know what's going on there, so we can always ping him.
Got it. Sounds good.
Yeah, I can also point you at probably should have taken the discussion out of Slack, but there's an old Slack thread talking about some of the nuances there. It's a little bit subtle the way you can configure your network policies. You configure it one way and it blocks all the traffic. you configure it another way and it allows all the traffic. And we're actually telling the user the wrong thing in the UI. So we're misrepresenting what it's doing. So it's actually, I hope no one's come across this yet. I really hope, because it's actually a really bad bug, because we're misleading users about what the policy is doing.
Yikes. Cool, I'll take a look.
Cool. And then next priority for backend, it looks like that would cross all the backend bugs off the list for the most part. So the next priority would be the DAST scan schedule policies. Open question there, and Tiago, you may have answered this already inadvertently in our one-on-one sync up, but are we ready to move this to refinement, or do we need to do more research? Like, where are we at with this one? Is there any more clarification that I can provide from my end, or are we good to go?
No, you can move to refinement. I'm sure there'll be questions, and we already have all the spikes in there that we think we're gonna need. I consider spike part of refinement, to be honest, because it's just part of trying to answer the questions about technical blockers or architecture, things like that.
Okay.
So yes.
Sounds good. And the front end is already refined, so we're in a good place on that one.
Just way ahead of us.
Yep. All right, and then especially since we've got Alexander and Lindsay here on the call synchronously with us, do you have any questions about 13.8 for the front end? Other than that one bug, it'll just be continuing work on the alert dashboard, doing follow-up design improvements there.
No, I think I'm good. I'm sure I'll have questions later.
Yeah.
My question is more for Alexander. Thanks. Alexander, I was going to update the DAS scheduled scan issues out of 13.8 and into, given how much work is left for the alerts and the follow-up for alerts, do you feel like I should move those into 13.9 or 13.10?
I think we should just, I think it's fine to leave them here and then move them later. Realistically, I'm probably not getting to them to 13.9, I guess. So yeah, I guess it makes sense to move them.
Right, I was just wondering if 13.9 was even realistic, given the amount of work you still have to do on the initial alerts issue and then the follow-up issue that Sam created. So there's a good amount of work in that as well. Those are the priorities before the DAS project level scan. So I was feeling like 13.9 was maybe even optimistic for that.
I see. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. When's where are we in? We're in 13.8 right now, right?
13.7 for another week. And then 13.8 launches on January 22nd. And then 13.9 and then 13.10. And there is actually 13.10 and 13.11 in the issue tracker. So I don't know when we go to 14. This isn't the way I knew decimals worked, but it's okay.
Yeah. Let me think about it.
Okay.
The thing that I was going to mention was about the design updates. I saw that Alexander, you and Sam have already been talking about the statuses and the lack of the confirmed. From a backend point of view, it would simplify things immensely if we could keep the mapping one-to-one, meaning we would need to go and convince the monitoring team to add a fifth wheel in there, a confirmed or in progress, whatever they want to call it, as long as there's a fifth one. Because if they don't, yeah, we need to come up with a way. Either we're going to need to duplicate that somewhere else, or we're going to need to do more work to allow a bit of separate workflows depending where you're coming from or where you're looking. Anyway, just a heads up that it complicates things a bit more if we don't align objectives with them.
Yeah, so my proposal is to continue to punt on that. I do want to add a fifth status, but not right now. I don't think it's a higher priority than the other things we've got going. And as you pointed out, like, you know, that's going to take a lot of cross-team collaboration, and it's going to be probably a fairly hefty endeavor to make that happen, just, you know, amongst ourselves. I don't know that the coding is so difficult, but yeah, so I de-scoped that. I pulled that out of the design improvements. You'll notice I updated the requirements, and I mentioned it as, you know, this is something we still want to do in the future, but it's not part of that epic.
No, I can see it. It's great if you've put it in as further details, and it's designed but out of scope for this epic. So that's excellent. Like we'll keep going as it is, keep it in our mind, and if there's anything that we can start discussing with them, that's great. But otherwise, it's not stopping us from getting this done.
Yep, and I'm still hopeful that most of that if not all of that follow-on epic can be front end only, so that way we can have the back end team just double down on finishing what they need to with alerts and getting a jump start on those task scan schedule policies.
Sounds good.
All right. I think that's.
Sorry, before we break with this,
agenda.
do you think that the design issues, you said they're going to be ready by the end of this week? When should we be starting the planning breakdown? Those, do you think it'll happen before the holiday? Do you think we should be targeting doing that in this discussion next week?
So I will be working next week. So if whoever's on then and still around, I'm happy to do it then. If we don't have a quorum next week, given the holidays, then we can do it after that. I think hopefully Alexander, Kyle's been in touch with you. I think he has to some extent. So it's a fairly large like follow-on epic. There's a lot in there. So I'm, you know, even if the whole thing isn't ready for planning breakdown, I'm hoping there are at least components of it that you're clear on that you can start until we get all of it nailed down and can formally move the whole thing out of the design state.
Yeah, there's
week, question mark, Lindsay, I guess is your answer.
Alexander, what were you gonna say?
I definitely have a sort of a clear path forward. As Sam mentioned, there are some open questions there, but you know, creating the Kanban board, digging into the side panel, these are like things that I know need to happen, and so I can definitely move forward with those while some of the finer details get nailed down.
Cool. Hopefully it's on like maybe a design issue by a design issue basis. So you're not just like, I've got these little pieces over on this one to understand, and then a little bit over here. That could get kind of confusing.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
All right, anything else to discuss for today? Cool, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Have a great holiday, everyone, if you're taking time off. And
You too, Sam.
I'll be on next week for whoever's here, and if not, we'll see you after.
Oh yeah, I'll be here next week as well. Lindsay, Tiago?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay, we're all
Yeah, it's yeah. It's the week.
We're all just
after
excited,
that.
right?
Planning breakdown next week.
All right. At least some of it, right? All right. Thanks, everyone.
See you then. Bye.
See ya.